Hi, this is Casey at Thompson RV in Pendleton, Oregon. Today we're looking at the Outdoors RV 28 BKS Timber Ridge Titanium Series. This Titanium Series features a camping at your fingertips remote that allows you to control the awning, run the lighting underneath the awning, as well as bring the slide out in and out. We have additional videos on our YouTube page that cover this in more detail. The tires are a 10-ply E-Range Goodyear Endurance tire. Tire pressures are set to 80 psi. The lugs are a 3/4 inch drive and torque to 115 pounds. This is a Dexter Quick Lube axle. There's a Zerk fitting back behind this center cap. We removed that center cap. There's a small rubber cover covering the top of that Zerk fitting. Dexter recommends greasing those axles every 12 months or 12,000 miles with lithium No. 2 high temp grease. The MORryde CRE 3000 here in the middle also has wet bolts. There's one here in the center, two on each end of the leaf spring here in the middle, and then one on each end of the leaf spring back behind the tire here. MORryde recommends greasing those with the lithium No. 2 high temp grease every 6 to 10,000 miles. Same type of grease as we're going to use on these Dexter axles. We have two 110 outlets on the outside of the coach. So anytime you're plugged into shore power, if you have a generator running, you've got 110 outlets on the outside. 80 gallons of fresh water. We're going to drop our hose in here, turn it on about half, 3/4 speed, fill up that fresh tank. We've got a gauge inside the trailer that'll show us our tank levels. This is the outside of the furnace. Here's the back of the refrigerator. This panel's a 1/4 turn. Pops the panel off there. Hit it with a shop vac once a year, keeps the spiders from making a house in there. We have two speakers on the outside of the trailer. This is zone 2 on the outside and zone 1 on the inside. We can play zone 1 and zone 2 at the same time, or we can play them independent however we like. We've also got a black vent here. This is the vent that goes over the top of the stove top. So when we're cooking, we can turn that exhaust fan on, draws that hot air out. 10-gallon water heater, gas and electric. So from the inside of the trailer, we have an electric switch that runs on 110, and we have a gas switch to run on the propane tanks to heat the water. We can run either one however we like. There's an on and off switch down here at the bottom. This will override the electric heating element switch on the inside of the trailer. So let's say we winterized it, we've got all the water out there. We don't want somebody to be able to turn it on from the inside. We're trying to protect that element. We can turn this to the off position. This is an anode rod here. We're going to drain the water heater here. This requires an 1 1/16" socket to remove this anode rod. Right now it's nice and shiny. A year or two from now we're going to swap that out and put a new one in its place. These are gas and electric resets. These are high limit switches. These are designed to protect that water heating element in case it got too hot. Let's say we didn't have any water in there. We turn that element on. It shut itself off to protect it from burning up the element. We could then come out and press these to reset them, similar to a GFI and electrical outlet. There's also a pressure relief valve, just like you have on a home hot water heater. Outdoors RV are pre-wired for 200 watts of portable solar. We can plug in a 200-watt portable panel on the outside here, throw it out to the south, has a built-in charge controller that'll help charge our batteries as well. It's also pre-wired for up to 370-watt panels up there on the roof. Got a 30 amp cord here, 30 feet long. It's on a twist lock. That plugs in at the other end of the trailer there. We also have a 12-foot long LP hose here. There's a 90-degree elbow inside this package that will mount on the right-hand propane tank. That allows us to run any high-pressure barbecue. So we can run a Camp Chef, a Weber, anything that takes a little green bottle. We'll all work off of this guy. Since this is a Titanium series, it's also equipped with auto level. So inside the compartment here, you'll see that there's a touchpad. That allows us to run that auto level system from the outside of the coach, or we can use it from the inside of the coach on the touchpad inside. We've got another video that covers that in greater detail. As part of that mountain storage system, there's a 12-foot long toy lock here on the outside. It ratchets back in and out. It comes with a lock with a couple silver keys that fit that guy. We've got two 7-gallon propane tanks. Again, we'd mount that 90-degree elbow on this right-hand propane tank. We fill up both the 7-gallon propane tanks for you, so they're all ready to go. You have an auto changeover regulator here in the middle. Right now, this little arm is pointed towards this tank. This is our supply right now. If this had fuel in it, it would be green in the window. Once this tank goes empty, it's going to turn red in the window and automatically start drawing off the second tank. That arm is still going to be pointed towards this first tank, but it's going to tell you, hey, I'm red here. This tank's empty. I'm now running on that second propane tank. Electric tongue jack here, all part of that auto level system. Other end of our storage compartment, again, another load light on the inside there. Here we've got our gray valve that controls the gray dump for our kitchen. It's a little difficult to see here, but there is a white valve in the front there, right in front of that axle, and that's where we're going to dump that fresh tank. So there's about a 2-inch line coming out of the center of that underbelly. We'll pull that white valve, just like the grays and blacks. We're going to pull that white valve. That's going to dump our fresh tank out there on the ground. Slide topper over the top of the slide out. We just generally want to keep that clean. You know, make sure we don't have any sticks and big things piling up there. If we get a bunch of big, heavy, dense, wet snow, we're going to bring that slide out in. As it rolls in, that snow is going to fall off on the outside, and then we'll just run that slide out right back out. We just don't want that big, heavy, dense, wet snow pulling on the fabric. We've got an outside shower here at the back. A load light for our dump valves here at the rear as well. So here at the back, this is where this is a rear bath. So we have our black valve under here and our gray valve. The valves themselves are enclosed inside the underbelly, so they're heated and insulated, but the handles are here on the outside. If we were camping in an RV park, we're going to keep those valves closed. We're going to let things build up in the tank, and we're going to flush them when we get ready to go. So if we've been at the RV park for a few days, or if we're in the mountains, of course, we're going to have those closed at that time. But let's say we've been at the RV park for a few days. We've got our valves closed. Things are building up in the tank. We're ready to take off. We're going to open that black valve. It's going to dump out our waste. After that's ran out, we're going to use our old garden hose, or we have a gray hose you can use. We just want to separate it from our fresh hose. We're going to hook up here to the Santa Flush. That Santa Flush has a sprayer head inside that tank. It's going to spray that black tank out. So we'll run this at high pressure for a few minutes. It's going to spray that black tank out. Once that's cleaned out, we'll come over to our gray valve, open the gray valve, and that's going to flush out our hose as well. This hookup here is our city hookup. So if we're hooking up in an RV park, we're going to put a water pressure regulator in between. And we're going to use the water pressure that comes right off of the water spigot there at the RV park. Again, 30 amp power cord, like we talked about, 30 feet long. It's on a twist lock that hooks up here. There's a little blue light on the top of this when it's plugged into 110 power to let you know you have power there. And there's another light at the other end of the power cord. This hookup here that's not marked, this one here is for your cable hookup. If you go to RV park and they have cable hookups there. And this one here that says DSS, this is for portable satellite, like a dish network system, for example. That sewer hose can be stored in the bumper here. We just remove that cap. Again, as part of that mountain storage system, there's a 2-inch receiver here at the back, 250-pound hitch capacity. So if we want to put a bike rack on the back, a metal cargo tray, you've got a bunch of options there. As part of that titanium series, there's a backup camera here at the back. It comes with a 7-inch monitor that goes inside the truck. We go into greater detail in that backup camera in a separate video. Spare tire here at the back, 10-ply E-range Goodyear Endurance, just like the rest of them, just doesn't have that fancy chrome wheel. Big tube ladder here at the back. We recommend getting up and down off that roof a couple times a year. So we're gonna get up there, we're gonna inspect the rubber of the roof, and we're really gonna look at that die core. That's the stuff that kind of looks like silicone that goes around all the roof vents. It's white. We're gonna get up there and look at that stuff. It's called die core. It comes in a caulking tube. You're going to look for cracks, pinholes, bubbles, anywhere there's any potential for water to get inside the trailer. We do not want water to get inside, so we're going to jump up there. We'll look at that die core. If everything looks great, we'll wait another 6 months and hop up there again. If there's a spot that's somewhat questionable, we'll dab a little die core on that spot there and let it sit. We don't have to cut the old stuff off or anything fancy. We'll just dab a little more over the top of it. Along the top of the roof up there, where the roof vents are, the attic vents, if we had solar up there like this one does, in spots like that, we're going to use a self-leveling die core. Along the edges, we're going to use a non-leveling die core, because we don't want that die core to settle and run over that fiberglass. On this bunk model, it's equipped with another door on the outside, and you have a lot of storage inside here too, so if you have extra stuff you want to put in here that goes underneath that bunk. All right, let's take a look inside. All right, now we're inside of our 28 BKS. We have a 12-volt TV in here, so this is going to run right off the batteries at the front of the trailer. This is on a swing-out bracket, and it's got this little rubber bungee that's going to go over the top for travel. Here at the back, there's a little lever that's going to allow this to swing out. We can turn it towards the bunks, turn it towards the front dinette, however we'd like to run it. We give you a cheat sheet that covers this, but to give you kind of a quick overview of how this works, there's an antenna up there on the roof. There's a WineGuard 360 up there, and that's going to get our TV channels when we're out camping. When we're ready to scan for TV channels, we're going to turn this booster on. This little green button is going to illuminate. That's going to send power up to that antenna. Now on our TV remote, we're going to hit menu, scroll over to channel, and do auto scan, and then it's going to go out and find those TV channels for us. If you wanted to add a dish network system or portable satellite and you wanted to plumb it to the back TV, that's what this other coax is for that's not labeled here. Otherwise, the TV cable and antenna are going to come through this one, and this one that's marked auxiliary, that's tied to that DSS port on the outside for portable satellite. It has multiple HDMI hookups, USB hookups, so people are using Chromecast, Amazon Fire Sticks, tons of options out there. Down here is our CD player, our DVD player. This also does Bluetooth. So when we're ready to fire this guy up, if we want to watch a movie, we're going to pop a movie in there. That DVD is going to come up on HDMI 1 on our TV here. If we want to listen to AM, FM, we'll turn it on, and then it comes with a small gray remote that allows us to control the stereo. We can, again, play zone 1 inside, play zone 2 outside, or independent, however we like there. This also comes with Bluetooth, so if you want to Bluetooth music or podcasts and things off your phone, it's going to ask for a passcode on your phone. That's just 4 zeros, and that'll pair it here with the stereo. Inside here, we have the interior light switches, and there's a 3-way switch that controls that awning light with another switch inside the bedroom there. Awning in and out, again, we could control it from inside here, or we can use that remote control that we looked at outside, that camping at your fingertips, that'll control the awning. And same thing for the slide out. Bringing the slide out in and out could be controlled here, or from that camping at your fingertips remote. 8 cubic foot Norcold refrigerator. This is our power button. When this is on, there's a green light illuminated right here. Mode allows us to switch between automatic, propane, or 110 electric. What's in an automatic, anytime 110 power is available, it runs on 110. If 110 power is not available, switch to propane and run at the propane tanks at the front. If we're out dry camping, it's running on propane. If we fire up the generator, automatically switches to 110. If we shut the generator off, it'll switch back to propane. It'll just automatically switch back and forth. Or we can individually select which side we'd like to run on. This one will set our temperature. This goes up to 5 little snowflakes. The more little snowflakes, the colder it is. Microwave, again, requires 110 power. Our exhaust fan over the top of the stovetop here. A fan and light. And then over the top of the range here, we've got a nice cover. And there's a knife rack here in the back. We can put our larger cutlery knives here, put the blades down, that we can leave them in there for storage and travel. When we're ready to light our stovetop here, we're going to turn this to light and hit our striker, and that's going to light our individual burners. When we're ready to light the oven, we're going to kick this over to pilot on the knob here. We're going to press this in, and with our long bic lighter, we'll set that right in front of that thermocouple there at the bottom and light our pilot. We have our thermostat here on the wall. This is similar to a home. This controls our fan and air conditioning that's ducted up through the ceiling there. And this also controls our heat that comes through the registers in the floor. This top screen here, this is for our auto level system. We can control the auto level from here inside the trailer, or we can use the control pad that's up in that front storage compartment that we looked at outside. This is our water pump switch. There's also another water pump switch in the bathroom, so you can turn it on from either location. This controls our gas water heater when we run the gas side of it. We'll flip this switch on. There's a red fault light that's going to illuminate. Give it 15-20 seconds. That fault light will go out after that, and that water heater's lit. So again, direct spark ignition, so that light will illuminate each time you turn it on at first. On the electric side of it, for the 110, we can flip that switch on. Just automatically turns on that 110 heating element. If you're really in a hurry and you're trying to knock out a lot of showers and get hot water in a hurry, we're going to run that gas side of it. That's going to heat up a little faster than the electric side. 12 volt heat pad that's mounted on the bottom of our fresh water tank. So that's physically attached to the bottom of the tank. We can use this when we're driving down the road or if we're camping in really cold conditions. Down here at the bottom is the LP leak detector that's hardwired in with the batteries up at the front of the coach. Now we're here in the bedroom. We have 2 reading lights over the top of the bed. There's undermount cabinet lights here as well. There's also 2 USB 12-volt plugs on each side of the bed and a 12-volt cigarette lighter style on each side of the bed as well, so we can charge our phones and things like that at night. There's 110 outlets on each side of the bed. There's additional storage underneath here. Right here we've got a black leather wrapped pillow. That fits nicely in that front window to block out additional light in the morning or add extra insulation. It's our Zamp solar controller. Again, we've got solar mounted up on the roof there. Right now our solar is showing that we have 13.2 volts on the batteries. From here we can cycle through here to see how many amps it's bringing down from the solar to our batteries. And this also will show us how many amp hours the solar is put on the batteries for the day. The next button down here selects the battery type. So if we had a lithium battery, a 6-volt AGM, a wet battery, that can all be selected from here. This has multiple charge stages, and we cover that in greater detail as well. We have a max air fan there at the ceiling. It has 10 different fan speeds to draw air in or draw air out, or we can set it for a specific temperature and it'll automatically turn on and start running. So right now, we'll turn this thing down a little bit here. So right now the temperature's set for 70 degrees. If I hit auto, this is automatically going to turn on and start running once it gets above 70 degrees. I can adjust that temperature with the plus and minus button here. This is telling it 70 degrees. We don't have any heat on in here right now, and it's winter, so it's 42 degrees in here right now. We didn't turn the furnace on. The fan is on, the lid is open, and it's drawing air in at 40% fan speed. If I want to change that fan speed, I can press the larger and smaller fan buttons to increase or slow the fan. Or if I want to change the direction that the air is drawing in or out, I can hit this little squiggly arrow button here, and that'll change it so it starts drawing the air out. If you just want to open and close the lid, that's that vent lid button there. In the titanium models, it comes with another TV in the bedroom. So this TV has a DVD player in the side of it as well. Just put the shiny side of the DV out facing towards you. This again is 12 volt, just like that larger TV in the front room. And our cable and antenna are going to come through this white coax. And we mentioned before, if we had dish network or a satellite system, we can run it to that front TV and also have that dish network system plumbed here to the back. This is on a swing out bracket as well and has this nice bungee travel strap that goes over the top. The dinette table makes down into a bed, so if we want to use this for extra sleeping, we'll pop this tabletop up off of the table legs here. I usually just put those legs underneath of the dinette there. And then this table is going to sit down on the brackets on each side here. At that point, we'll slide the cushions in and fill that space. It's 84 inches long, so it's actually longer than a queen bed. Plenty of space for an adult to sleep. This is that 7-inch monitor that we're going to use for our backup camera. We cover that in greater detail in a separate video. This unit's equipped with theater seating. They have individual recliners and a center storage console there. On this 30 amp service, our GFI for all of our 110 outlets is located here in the bathroom. If for some reason you don't have 110 power, let's come check that GFI and make sure it didn't get tripped for some reason. There's a max air fan here in the bathroom. It's on a wall switch. It has 4 different fan speeds that draws air out since it's in the bathroom. Or you can just open and close the lid. Down here at the bottom is also that second water pump switch like we saw in the front room. We also have a glass sliding door here for the bathroom. We're just going to make sure we have this travel latch locked down when we're in transport. We've got lighting and 12 volt USB plugs here in the bunks, as well as 110 outlets. This top bunk has a light switch that controls that light over the top there. And then this lower bunk, again, has 12 volt USB plugs, 110 outlets, and a light there in the bottom. Lastly, we're going to look at our load center that's located down here at the floor. Everything 110 is on the breakers, and everything 12 volt is on the fuses. The breakers, we're looking at things like the air conditioner, the water heater on that 110 side, our general power in, that kind of good stuff. On the 12 volt side, these are standard automotive fuses. And these are mainly going to be lighting broken into different circuits, our awning, slide outs, things like that. Thanks for joining us on this quick tour of the 28 BKS Titanium Timber Ridge. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at 541-276-4836 or visit thompsonrvinc.com. Thanks.